Hi everyone. Happy Wednesday. We'll wait just a few minutes and let you join us. See what everybody's up to today.
My dog has not moved, I think, the entire time we've been talking. And I have a cat at the door who's like, hello. Hello. He's young. We just got him this summer. So he's like maybe 5, 6 months old. And he's super obnoxious. He's the first boy animal that we've had in a really long time. For some reason, we always end up with girls. And my dog's fond of him because she plays with him, has a great time with him. My female cats, not so much. They really hate him, actually.
Hi Renee. Laura.
What's it like in Minnesota now? Is it going to turn cold there too? I know this is terrible, but I pray for cold weather just because obviously our business is blankets, right? So I'm like, yes, snow.
I like snow.
I miss snow. We didn't get any in New Jersey last year. So no sledding, no snow days.
Wow. No snow days.
It was no snow days.
It's going to be 20 by Friday night.
That's
That's kind of like here.
Yikes.
It's not Friday. That's happening like Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cold here
Yeah.
this weekend. Winter is coming.
And we've got Pamela from Texas, who's probably like, it's 80 degrees here. What's it like there, Pamela? You're like the opposite end of the spectrum.
It is
It is
warm.
warm. It's warm in New Jersey too, but we're supposed to get it
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, it was upper 80s this last Monday.
Yeah, like it's been 80s. Like, and now I think somebody said they were talking snow on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
We're used to that though. We're used to the big swings.
yeah.
Well, it's like somebody switched, you flip the switch. Mother Nature's like, it's fall now.
We're done.
Colorado getting the first hard freeze this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I feel like we're in that same boat.
Warm in Louisiana. That is the cool thing about social media. You feel like really connected to people all around the world and the country. Oh, poor EPM guy needs a new blanket, huh, Danielle? It's a tough neurological disorder now to deal with. I haven't had a horse with EPM, but I know it's difficult to handle. I've met some people with horses that have EPM.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we have Jess with us from Weatherbeeta, and we have teamed up with them to do blankets for bales, and she's going to talk a little bit about that today.
Meanwhile, if you have any questions about any of the blankets, be sure to put those in the comments. Jess is here to answer all those for you today. So with that, Jess, we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, sure. So I'll just introduce myself a little bit after I did the nerd push my glasses back up. I've been working for Weatherbeeta for, in January it'll be 16 years. So it's been a long time. I know a lot of people working for Valley Vet have the longevity as well. But so I know a little bit about our blankets. They've changed quite a bit since I first started to now. We've gone through many iterations of blankets in different styles, but they keep improving year over year. So basically today I'm going to go through the line that Valley Vet is carrying to support the Blankets for Bales program. And basically what that Blankets for Bales is that every time you purchase one of the blankets in this program, money gets put aside and goes towards hay, which obviously has become very expensive depending on the area of the country that you're in, for local rescues that apply for the program. And basically what the ladies are going to do for you after the live is over is they're going to give you a link to the landing page for Valley Vet. And this landing page is fantastic because it has the big Blankets for Bales at the top, so you know exactly what you're doing and what you're supporting. It goes through the entire program with you, which is pretty simple, actually. Again, what a rescue can do is they go and apply to be eligible for these funds. And they have the eligibility to be chosen to receive these funds once they become available after the program is over and we see how much we have collected, which hopefully is a lot of money. And then we pretty much write checks to these rescues that allows them to purchase the hay that they actually need. So it's a wonderful program, and it's great because you can purchase through Valley Vet and feel really good about that purchase, because not only are you getting a blanket that's going to serve your horse really well, we have fantastic quality blankets, but you're also helping to support horses that do not have a very loving owner like you do, and are at a rescue. But a lot of these rescues are fantastic, and they take care of those horses as well as they can. So if anybody has any questions on a specific style, but you'll see the styles again if you go to the landing page that the ladies are going to post for you guys. All of the styles will be under that landing page, and then it'll also give you 3 different ways to support the program. The program is running now through, sorry, I'm looking over here, through the 15th of November. So it'll run through now through the 15th, and then it'll be reprised after the Black Friday, Cyber Monday holidays. So it'll start up again December 5th and run all the way through January. So there's plenty of opportunity to pick up a blanket and help support this promotion and program. And then the third one, and this is the important one, so you can go to the link where you can actually apply. So if you're on here and you're a horse rescue and you're going, well, this sounds like something that I'd really like to participate in and possibly benefit from some of the funds that come through here, you would click on that link and it tells you and takes you to the place where you would apply for being a receiver of those funds. It looks like we have questions. So what blanket would you recommend for a Mustang who is just getting used to blankets and needs something waterproof that's affordable? Yeah. Is he tough on blankets, I guess, would be my first question. I'm assuming that he probably would be, considering he's just getting used to them. So it's possible that he's going, what is this? I don't know if you've ever put a cat into a blanket or some sort of an outfit, but I can imagine that he's probably doing the same thing. Although I've had a cat who I've literally put the outfit on and she fell over. Just, I can't move now. I'm paralyzed. But anyway, so if we're looking for something affordable, in the line that is available through Home for Every Horse and the Blankets for Bales program, you would go for a classic. Oh, she's not had one on before, so she's good with her mask. All right. So technically, I guess you don't need something that has a high denier. Now, when I talk about denier, that is basically the level of strength of the fabric in the most simplest terms. So the higher the denier, the stronger the fabric is actually going to be. So we offer blankets that are an 1800 denier, so super high fabric strength there. And then we offer the lowest denier that we offer is 600. And that's usually good for horses that maybe they're not turned out with another horse, maybe they're not overly rough on their blankets, and they're going to be the most affordable. So if you look at what's available through this program, you're going to look for the Comfy Tech Classic. That's the blanket that you're going to look for. So the Weatherbeeta Comfy Tech Classic. And it's only coming in one color this season. on Valley Vet's website. It's red with like a silver trim, so it's a really sharp color. 600 denier, traditional side gusset. It's going to have a double buckle front closure, leg straps, and low cross surcingles that are adjustable. It'll come in either a combo neck or it will come in a standard neck. And the combo necks is when the neck comes up towards the ears, but it's attached. And then we have other options that are detachable necks. So that can get confusing occasionally, the difference between the combo and the detached neck. Again, the detached neck is something that actually can be removed from the blanket so that you can either utilize it as a detachable neck or a full neck option or as a standard neck option. I do have a sample actually behind me where I can show you what that would look like on a detachable neck option so that you can kind of see it. So this one's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to hold it up, is the Essential Plus. So the Comfy Tech Essential Plus, also part of the range. And when you're looking at the detachable neck, when you buy them as a detached neck, it's going to have a neck that attaches by sandwich Velcro. And we do that because it's really hard to get it off, which is good for horses and not so good for me sometimes, but that's how it would be removed if you're looking at that. There's also an option. So let's say you buy a standard neck in some of the styles that perhaps don't come in a detachable neck. Either they come in a standard neck or a combo neck. We do sell the neck rugs separately. So when you buy a standard neck and you buy the separate neck rug, you can attach it by the 3 D-rings that are up on the neck, on the shoulder area when you're looking at the standard neck. So there's all different mix and match options for what your needs are because our business is blankets. So we have lots of options. What else? So interesting. Yeah, Mustang also never wore a blanket. We did desensitize before putting it on. I will say, if you're ever putting a cooler on one of these horses too, we have anti-static coolers, which are fantastic because obviously I've had horses that wear blankets, but when you pull off a cooler or a blanket and the static, the clicking and the sensation happens, they get a little squirrely. So the anti-static feature is awesome. I wish I had that when I was a little bit younger, because I've actually pulled coolers off of horses and they shoot back and rip the cross ties off the sides of the barn. So anti-static is amazing. Thank you, Daniel. I think so. But yeah, so like I said with the deniers, we start with 1,800. We go all the way down to 600. 1,200 is the sweet spot. A lot of people appreciate a 1,200 denier blanket. We have 2 types of 1,200 denier. So if you start at the top line of what Valley Vet's carrying, we've got the Comfy Tech Plus Dynamic range. They're carrying it in a medium weight in a detached neck, in a maroon color, so super classic, really nice color. It looks, and I have the dog blanket so I can show you. It looks like that. So that's the color. But basically what I want to focus on here is when I'm talking about these fabrics and the 2 different types of the 1,200 denier, you've got this type of fabric, which is a triple weave. So you can see that it has a little bit more reinforcement around the stitching here. And that's so that if this gets caught on something, it rips even less than a traditional 1,200 D weave, which is usually like a box weave and looks more like that, if you can kind of see it up close. You've got the boxes there. So between those 2 weaves that I just showed you in a 1,200D, I would recommend the triple weave. So if we get up into the other models, and I'm doing from price range. Oh, Evie's kicking herself in the face right now. That's my dog, Evie. She's telling the lady she's a terrible secretary. Look at her. She's yawning. She's very little interest in what's happening right now.
Poor girl.
Yeah, it's a tough day, you know. It's really hard for her. But anyway, so we've got that dynamic that I mentioned before. When I say the different weights too, so when I say medium weight for a Weatherbeeta blanket, a medium weight is going to have 220 grams of polyfill, and that's that filling that's like inside your jackets, for instance. It's that white fluff that you would see if you cut open one of your coats, for instance. And that medium weight, I would say, is probably good if you're getting down into the 30s, 20s. It depends. So all horses are different as well. It's so difficult to talk about this, right? Because every horse has different needs dependent on their age. Are they clipped? Are they just cold? You know how some people are just cold all the time? Same with horses. But clipping too is a big factor because obviously if they have their natural coat, you've got a little loft there, so you wouldn't necessarily have to put on the heaviest blanket because they also have that layer of protection in their own hair. So maybe you put on a medium blanket if it's at the freezing level. But we also have heavyweight blankets too. So if you have a clipped horse that's turned out in a little bit colder region, I would recommend a heavy weight, and that's 360 grams of polyfill. So if you're looking at our blankets and you see either medium weight or heavy weight, that's what that means. If you see lightweight, it has no polyfill in it. Oh, look at that, Chris. That's so nice to hear. Horse was tough on blankets until he wore one of ours. I'm hoping it's because of the superior fit. And that's the other thing. We have a lot of options for fit as well. So most of the blankets that you're going to see on the Valley Vet website will have a traditional side gusset. So I'm just trying to like go through all of the basic features here. A traditional side gusset will help for a little bit of freedom of movement there. But we do have other blankets that are available that have a forward facing gusset if you have a horse with a larger shoulder, for instance. We have larger tail flaps. So depending on the style of blanket, it starts with huge tail flaps that fully cover the tush. And that's fantastic because, like me, horses will turn their back to the weather. So the intention is to cover as much of the horse as possible so that the rain does not get underneath of the blanket, thus keeping them dry and comfortable. Don't blanket until it's about 5 below. Look at that. 1200D to light for any cooler than that. It's 1200 too light. So 1200D, Cassandra, to answer your question, 1200D actually represents the strength of the fabric. So what you're looking for is the level of polyfill. So if I'm looking at a heavyweight blanket for, the -5 degrees, I would probably, dependent on the horse, recommend something that's the heavy, which is 360 grams of polyfill. And again, that's that fluff that fills your jackets, for instance. It's the same kind of fluff that'll fill the blankets as well to keep the horse warm and insulated. We also have the option of a liner system. So some of our blankets will incorporate a liner system. So you can purchase a separate liner, and then it'll have loops on the interior where you can hook that liner in. And those liner come in a multitude of different weights. But the most common weight that people really like is the 100 grams, so that they can pair it with, let's say, their medium weight blanket. And it's a 220 gram fill blanket in a medium weight. And you want to make that a heavyweight without purchasing another turnout blanket. You would buy this liner, pair it with your 220 gram medium weight, and then all of a sudden you have 320 grams of a more heavier weight blanket for your horse. Lindsay, I appreciate the different options. It's been a big consideration in why we chose Weatherbeeta blankets typically. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. How do you order? Well, the ladies will provide, Alexander, the ladies will provide you a link on how to get that particular triple weave blanket. It is on the landing page and offered through Valley Vet and the Blankets for Bales program. So not only will you have an awesome blanket, you will be helping to support, sad little ponies out there that don't have a permanent home. Any other questions? I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, trying to answer questions as best as possible, but is there anybody who has a question specifically on a specific feature that they want to know a little bit more about? I'll just wait a second. We can talk about some of the fun colors that are available this year too. So several years back, we started doing, we call them Western prints, but I, as an English person, also enjoy these prints. So I wouldn't necessarily pigeonhole them into Western only. But we do have some really fun prints again this year, including, I think you guys are carrying the Sedona, no, it's not Sedona Star. It was one with like little boots and stuff on it. So cute, like kind of a tan one. We also had like a Western tool. We have Navajo prints. So if you're not into some of the more traditional colors of blankets, like the navies and the burgundies, you can get a fun color, and those are offered in the essentials. So if you're looking to buy a fun color, it would be the Weatherbeeta Essentials that you're looking at. Oh, look, now we've got the questions. Okay. Claudette, can the 1200D resist barbed wire? Well, it depends. Is your horse directly scratching himself against barbed wire? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on the circumstance. What I can recommend for barbed wire, and I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to withstand a horse really, getting himself caught on the barbed wire. But remember how I mentioned the 1800D? We do have a style, and it's the Weatherbeeta Tough that you can also find on Valley Vet's website. But it's an 1800D with a Eco Elite Teflon coating on it. And what's cool about the Eco Elite Teflon coating, as you can imagine, Teflon coating so that things slide off of it. Nails, you're hoping barbed wire kind of slides off of it so it doesn't necessarily catch and cause a rip. But the Eco Elite Teflon coating is actually mostly bio-based product, because noting that Teflon is made from quite a few chemicals that are relatively toxic. We're trying to be less toxic and more sustainable in the products that we choose to use for our coatings, for instance. We even have a blanket that's made from post-consumer recycled material as well, called the Green Tech. And the liners that I was mentioning before, those are Green Tech liners. So those are also made from PCR, which is the post-consumer recycled materials. I would say the liners are probably made out of, let's say, 300 plastic water bottles, which is really cool. So we're really trying to move in a more sustainable direction when it comes to the materials that we're choosing for some of our blanket styles too. Hopefully down the road, we'll use more of those types of materials in the rest of our line as well. Julie has a question from Kansas, I believe. What do you suggest to use for washing blankets? So usually a very mild detergent. So think of a Woolite, but there's also products, and I believe Valley Vet does carry some of these products that are specific to washing blankets. So you don't want to use harsh detergent on your blankets. You also don't want to stick your blanket in the dryer. Don't dry your blanket. It will degrade the waterproofing that's in the fabric. That's why we say don't dry your blankets, hang them to dry. What else do we have? The Comfy Tech Classic in teal or turquoise blue. Unfortunately, Angelique, we don't. So the Classic only comes in the red, and this year we did have a seasonal color, which is black lime, that we haven't actually received in yet. So you should see those available down the line, but it looks like you're more interested in the teal or turquoise. You might want to look at some of the options in patterns in the Essential, which is a 1200D and still really reasonably priced. And then how about the front clips? Yeah, definitely. So if we're looking, Alexandra, on getting front clips that are the quick clip type, I'm assuming you're not looking for the double buckle. You're looking for quick clips so that when your hands are frozen, it's easier to get it on and off of your horse. And you only have to adjust it once, right? So what I would recommend for that, the styles, would be the ComfyTech Dynamic and then the ComfyTech Essential Plus. Those two will have the double buckle and quick clip front closure so that you only have to adjust once, but you can clip them in. Julie, how do you re-water protect them? Well, they last for a very long time. So I want to say it's 30 to 45 washes or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure at least up to 30 washes that the waterproofing should hold up for. To be honest, we don't get a lot of claims for waterproofing wearing off, specifically in the first 3 years. I think, Renee, actually, this is a good time to talk about those warranties. We have a 3-year warranty on all of our blankets sold in the Weatherbeeta line. And that 3-year warranty covers the waterproofing, it covers the hardware, and it covers the breathability, which goes along with the waterproofing. So if the waterproofing fails within those first 3 years and you have cared for your product properly, meaning you've washed it the way that you should be washing it, and you have not put it in a dryer, you're caring for it as recommended, it will be covered and we will replace your blanket for you. But going into the re-water protecting them, I do know that there's some products out there that you can use. Unfortunately, we don't sell any of those products that you can use to re-waterproof. But I can't say off the top of my head which I suggest for that. Because to be honest with you, it hasn't really come up that often. But I know Valley Vet does carry some Scotch Guard type products and re-waterproofing products that likely could help in a situation where maybe you've got a super old Weatherbeeta blanket that you need to re-waterproof because you just love it so much. Just want to keep it forever, you know? Anybody else? Anybody else want to stump me? Maybe have a really good, we should run a contest on who can get Jess to stutter, you know? How about a Kevlar blanket with a heater inside? That is intense. I will make that suggestion to our product team. Even my dog got up for that one. She was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I'm cold all the time. Sherry, that would be fantastic. And then, you know, bulletproof. Got a situation with hunters out there, you're fine because it's bulletproof Kevlar. Anything else, you guys? Any other questions that you always wanted to know about blankets? Oh, girl, you stink. My dog is a terrier, and so she's very oily, and she is a little stinky right now. Plus, could be time to go out. I don't know, because there was a unique odor coming from that area. Anything else, guys? What am I missing? Ladies, do you think I left anything out?
I think so. Good information.
Okay.
And I shared the link. It should be on there.
Yep, it is.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, there's the one. I see it. So we did have the Western print. You guys did carry it this year. It's that Navajo print. Very cute.
Yeah, that one's
Very, very cute on that one. Well, anybody have any questions before? Yeah.
Going once.
Yeah, going once, going twice.
done. Again, the blankets for bales last, it ends on November 15th. The first go round does anyway, so.
Yep. And then the second go round starts what, December 5th? Was it? December 5th.
Yep.
December 5th through January 31st.
Plenty of time to take advantage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Cassandra, you learned something. That's good. And I'm sure, Angelique, there will be Black Friday sales. I just want to thank everybody for, tuning in here, taking a little bit of your day to watch me talk about blankets for horses. I live it, so it's always interesting to me, right? But I always appreciate when other people are interested in it as well, and have great questions. And you guys had really great questions, and it makes it so much more fun for me to join these events and have folks like you who are really interactive and actually ask a lot of questions, so that I don't just have to hear myself talking.
All right, well, if you do still have questions after we're done here, go ahead and put them in the comments. And we will get with Jess and we will get you an answer. You can also rewatch this on our Facebook page if you missed out, or if you want to rewatch it. It will be there.
And also on our YouTube.
Yes. Jess, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys again. Thank everybody that's watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate that you took the time to do it. So if you have any questions, I'll be sitting around this afternoon waiting for the ladies to reach out to me, so that I can answer those questions for you.
Okay, just a couple of announcements before we let you go.
Before we hop off here, we have our Valley Vet shopping spree going on right now. So if you have not signed up, get signed up. The deadline is November 3rd. So that is coming up quickly.
Also join us again next Wednesday. We are going to be live with our friends from Datamar's Livestock. They are going to host a live demonstration on tagging properly, the correct use of applicators, how to remove tags, and details on both 1- and 2-piece tags. So you won't want to miss that. All things tags from Datamar's. So with that,
Thank you very much, Jess.
Thanks. So long, ladies. Have a good day.
thank you.